break from it, but what was your bye week like?
Just take time, just getting back to the basics of football, getting my body healthy, and then just resetting my mind to go play a whole another season.
How necessary or how refreshing was the reset? For lack of a better term?
Well, it was real good. Just to plan to self-scout myself, what I can do to, help the team be better on offense, the way I can do to help myself, just continue to establish drives. So, it was a good break needed.
Cam, when you did the self-scouting and the self-reflection, what would you say was the biggest thing that you felt was an area for improvement?
For myself, I thought the biggest thing I could improve on was just not missing easy plays. Just being overly focused, even on the little things that I critique myself on. But then just as a whole, offensively, just doing the things that we're good at more throughout the game, more in practice, and then just lead to, good offensive play.
I know you're the kind of guy that would spend probably a lot more time out there if the rules let you. You ever feel like there's not enough time in a regular work week to work on some of the stuff you'd like to?
There's always enough time. You just got to know how to use your days. It might not be a lot of time just with full speed reps because we're later in the season, guys' bodies, you got to be able to get them to Sunday. But you got to be able to be a mental quarterback, and I think that's what I'm getting better at each and every week. Just, count walkthroughs, just actual game reps, just being, just mentally focused on a lot of little things.
It seems like for how much the coaches talk about the individual periods and the footwork and stuff, that's only a small segment of what you do each day. Is it enough? Does it feel like enough?
Yeah, it feels like enough. I get a lot of it done on my own time. And that's just really, how the work week is. You got to take advantage of the minutes that you get. Then you got to maximize just outside the building.
What are you able to do in your time?
Just a lot of short stepping, not overstriding, a lot of pocket movement. I think the biggest thing is just not, throwing from off-balance platforms if I don't need to, just staying in the pocket.
Do you have an example that comes to mind that you can talk us through of missing an easy play? What does that look like from your end, and how do you find those? How do you correct those in film?
The game before the bye, just missing the easy throw to Van. That's really the easiest play that I could think of. And just on me. Protection was great. Van ran a good route, but I just got to come through for those guys. So just really self-scouting myself and just really staying within the pocket and not leaving if I don't have to.
Like, I guess, the mood, energy of the team is coming off the bye, 8 games to go.
Well, it's hot. We can turn the season around in 1 week. We try to take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. And, we got a good energy going just in and out the locker room. The new guys that we got in, we welcome them in with open arms. But them boys ready to work. The new additions we added, and I think they're going to help us, win some games.
What kind of conversation did you have with Quandre when he was released, and what did he tell you going forward?
Really good luck. He's going to be watching me really every Sunday if you're not at the games. But then just him, being able to play football with, a family member, not a lot of people get a chance to do. But I think he made this decision that was best for him. I'm always going to support him, and I know he's always going to support me.
How does it feel to have Ridley back out there and potentially have him back for Sunday?
It feels good. Just from a receiver standpoint, we get the best guy in our receiving room just with experience and just the way he can, take a defense, just over the top. That's something that, we've missed just in and out of weeks without Rid. We do a lot of stuff game plan-wise for Rid. So it's good to have, one of our best receivers back, and he's ready to make some plays.
Cam, with Gunnar Helm, you got 25 targets his way. He's caught 20 of them. What is it that makes that connection so effective?
He's just reliable. I think he doesn't get enough credit for just how good of body language he shows to the quarterback, especially on option routes, whether he's going to sit, break in, or break out. But then just the arm width he has, the expansion to go, track deep balls, the over the shoulder, his range is, one of the best out there. And we just got to find ways to get him the ball, get him going. I got to continue to put the ball, his, perimeter. He gonna come down with it.
And that's the thing. You look at the Chargers game. I think we only have one target. Is it just a matter of you having to go elsewhere, or what can you do to get him more opportunities?
I think we could do just different stuff offensively, whether it's emphasizing Gunnar or just getting in 12 personnel, getting 2 tight ends, give him a better chance to, get the ball. But we just got, I think what would help, not only us but him, is just moving the ball efficiently, not having to get get back on track situations, whether it's second or third down, and then so we can play above the sticks and get everybody the ball.
How much are you guys looking forward to getting another shot at Houston, given what happened in the first game?
We're looking forward to it. They're a good team all around, and they beat us the first time, but we gotta own up to the little things that we did wrong in that game, and we got to correct them. So we know we got our hands full with that group of guys. It's going to be a big-time game for us. We got to try to go out there and get a win.
You played a good bit better the second time against Indy compared to the first time. How valuable was it getting that second swing at a team, and how do you kind of translate that this time?
I think it's good because you see it one time already, even though defense can do a completely different thing the next game. You just got a sense of just how their defense plays. They got two good edge rushers over there. So really myself stepping up in the pocket and then also getting the ball out to help the O-line.
I guess in college, your team is your team. What's it been like for you in the NFL where you got teammates that here one day, go on the next? You mentioned new guys coming in, and what's the conversation like when somebody new comes in the locker room?
There's always high vibes. Every person that we brought through that building, through the doors, they come in with great energy. Everybody on the team goes up to them, introduces themselves. I think the best thing is that you get to just experience new people. You get to learn about new people, where they're from. But then you also count on that person to help yourself, help them, and help the team win games. So it's going to be a fun journey, with those new guys, and I'm ready, to support them any way they need.
What's been the biggest thing you've learned about yourself and your game as you go through the struggles of a rookie season on a team that's not winning?
I think you just got to remain just the process, from habits to routine to doing more than what you think you don't need to do, because there's always a little thing that you have to do. And it's always going to be ups and downs, and no matter if you're on the worst team or the best team in the league, you're never going to have a perfect game. And I just think for all of us, especially the young guys, we just continue to play the next play, remain confident, and, just got to put our trust in the system. And we just got to, at the end of the day, try to get better each and every game.
And what do you see are the biggest challenges on crucial downs, such as third down? That's been an area that you guys have struggled at this season.
I think just not being a third and long has been the biggest thing for us. And that's something that we lacked the first, games of the season, and just something that we got to do better, the last 8 games of the season. So I just think the more we can stay ahead of the sticks, it ain't going to, hurt us. It's just going to be able to propel us.
Okay, just kind of a little for practice. What you'll see today is Zeitler will be on a rest day. Mullins and Brown, obviously, as you guys know, the return to play. Their window's been open, so they'll be out there today. You will see Ridley and Arden out there in the return to play to see where they're at. Chig will be limited at practice today, as you'll see that designation later today. And then you will not see, Jeff will not be out there, CJ won't be out there, and Woods will not be out today. That's kind of an update. So when you go out there, no surprises.
Who were the limited again? I'm sorry, Simmons.
Who's limited?
The last 3 names you said. Simmons.
Simmons, CJ, and then Woods. They will not be there.
How good to kind of get Calvin, Arden, especially guys that are missing time, back in the flow and nearing a return, I guess.
Well, it's great to get everybody, back out there to see where they're at. This is the next step, in the return to play policy that we have and how we want guys to be ready to go. And we'll kind of see as the week goes on to see kind of where everybody's at. But it'll be great to have those guys out there. They've worked extremely hard, like I've been telling you guys forever. Since each one of those guys have been injured the past couple of weeks, the beauty of it is when you look at it all is the type of guys they are and the leaders of the team. When you see them on the sideline during games and stuff, you see those guys who've been out. The veteran leadership you see, it's been phenomenal. So, and they've worked extremely hard. So we'll see where they're at the next couple of days.
Simmons on social media had made it kind of sound like he, was close to getting back and that he might be back. Is it more just caution or hamstring? You got to be careful with those?
Well, we're always going to, with any injury, we want to make, and I keep saying this return to play policy is I want to make sure, or we want to make sure when they come out to play, they can be themselves and go out there and do what they do. So, they've all been trying to get out there every day, since they go out and, some guys, everybody's different. So you have to rely on them, communicate with the medical team of exactly where are they and when are they ready to go. So as soon as they can get out there, they're going to be out there because they've been working extremely hard to get out there.
So where is Jeff at injury-wise?
What do you mean, where is he?
Where is he in the process of coming back from
He's
injury?
working extremely hard to get back, and as soon as he's back, as soon as he's ready to go and he knows he can go out and be Jeff, he'll be out there.
Do you think that could come this week?
We'll determine that in the next couple of days. We'll see where he's at. I don't want to say one way or the other. He'll go through practice, and what he's doing right now, and then if he can go through a practice and do that and moving forward, we'll see the next couple of days where he's at. Like every player, a couple of guys will be out there today. We'll see where they're at, and they'll kind of have a better answer for you guys moving forward later in the week on where each player's at. Because it really is, and I'm not trying to hide anything here. I want the guys to be able to go out there and be themselves and go out there and fly around and be the players they want. And it's critical that those guys can go out there and do that.
What's Isle Manor need to do maybe to get back to where he was when he was at the top of his game?
Well, I think, there's going to be the ups and downs of every game that you're playing in. And as a young player, we've said this about a lot of guys, you're learning, and there's growth that you're looking for. And sometimes you hit a little bit of a roadblock at times, and you might press a little at times and try to do too much, and you just keep fighting through it. You keep fighting through it, but just go out there and be himself, and that's what you always tell every player, not just the younger guys, but just keep going and be yourself. And it's not always going to be perfect, but continue to learn. And he's a very talented player, so he'll be fine.
The last couple of games.
How do you feel like the tackle play has been? The Texans have one of the better pass rush combos in the league. How do you feel like Dan and JC can hold up against those guys, and how important would it be to have JC back since he didn't play in the first meeting?
Oh, it's great to have him back, without a doubt, have him back in there. But I think, they've got two of the best pass rushers in the league. And it's not just going to be the tackles one-on-one the whole entire game. There's other ways we're going to have to help them, and it starts with a good running game. And then from there, it's, the presence on the edges, all that, and do certain things that you've got to do. And, what every time you see a team play this team, everyone trying to mix it up to give. Any team you play with great pass rushers, you try to mix things up so it's not just them full speed ahead going to the quarterback every play. But, I think as a tackle in this league, like a lot of the other positions, you're playing against the best in the business. And so you're going to have your fair share of wins, and then you're going to get beat a couple times. And, it's our job to put those players in a position to be successful. And that goes, like I talked about, running game, protection, help on the edges, things like that. Cam getting the ball out of his hand, that's one big thing too, making good, quick decisions.
With Gunnar Helm, it seems like whenever he does get a target, it's a completion. Would you like to see more opportunities for him, especially after against the Chargers, he only got one target?
I want to see more completions all over the board, not just to him, everybody. We got to do a better job to be more efficient offensively, and when he gets his opportunities, without a doubt.
So knowing when he does get those opportunities, it seems like it's frequently a completion. So, is there something you could do to get him the football a little bit?
Yeah, you go into. There's plenty of plays that he's in there that you have a game plan for, to say, he's the number one guy in the target, and they take the play away. So it depending on what the coverage is, that happens in every. With every player you have certain targets. If you looked at a call sheet, there's certain things you want to get the backs to, receivers that are in there, tight ends that are in there, and there's a certain coverage. But yeah, he's definitely made the most of his opportunities. So he should get the ball more.
Peter shown you a steady rise over the course of this season?
Yeah, but he's been very consistent. Yes, that'd be an accurate statement.
You talked about how you met with Cam and talked about ways to help him improve here in the second half of the season. How important do you think it is for him mentally, for the team, for him to kind of finish on a strong note? I know you still got half the season to go, but to be ascending.
That's one thing, we always talk about is trying to get better every game, and especially, being a rookie quarterback in this league of just continue to learn. And I know I've been saying that often, every time we get in here about, consistently, getting better week in and week out. And there's nothing, the second half of the stretch of the season, you're starting to see, like this week, for example, playing Houston for the second time of the season. So having, more knowledge and having played against them earlier in the year, have a better understanding of what they try to do, and that's just going to come with experience. So, yeah, you'd love to have him finish the second half of the season off the right way.
Has Legarius been in the building since the injury, or is he?
Yes, he's been in the building. Yes.
Do you address off the field stuff with him, with the rest of the team? Or do you
We sent a message out in a statement, so I'll leave it at that.
Or do you just kind of let the players?
We discuss certain things with the team, yes.
You, I guess, some uncertainty about who their quarterback's going to be. You just prepare for their offense this week?
Well, I think they have the system in place, and I think with regards to who plays, they're going to focus on their system first, and then there's going to be a couple things that, you know, depending on who that guy is, they might lean on a little more, but I think their system is well established on what they want to do. If you watch, you know, looking at the tape and seeing regardless of who's playing, and then you obviously you lean on what players do best.
Scoring is always a top of the list goal, but when you play a team for a second time after they shut you out the first time, is there more of a drive to, you know, try to get on the board and make it very competitive?
Well, you definitely got to score more points. That's a given. You know, that's week in and week out. You're trying to score more points, so that is a key.
With the offense last in the league in yards per game, and your experience on the offensive side of the ball, in what areas do you think you could most realistically make some strides in this last chunk of the season to improve that?
Well, like we talked about on Monday, you know, success on third down, being more efficient on third down so that you sustain drives, keep them going. You know, someone asked the question about, you know, not crossing the 50-yard line and not this and that, but that all stems when you're good on third down. You keep drives going. Same thing you go into about scoring. When you're in the red area, you know, it's those 4-point plays on third down. Do you keep the drive going, or do you got to kick a field goal? So that's the big thing, is be more efficient on third down to, you know, continue to keep the drive going.
It's probably not something you can rank, but when you're talking about sustaining drives, third downs versus more explosive plays, is there one that's more of a priority of creating the explosive plays versus sustaining the drives, or do they kind of have to go hand in hand in your scheme?
Well, I think third down is critical because you sustain those drives to give you more opportunities. If it's just trying to get explosive plays and throwing the ball downfield, you know, if it's a lower percentage, you know, so I would think, you know, you like to do both, but I think number one, we got to make sure that we sustain drives and are more efficient so then you can take more shots.